everyone. I just want to say thank you so much for watching our videos. We are really, really grateful. We've had people from over 50 countries jump on and watch this series, and we've had lots of interesting comments and feedback, and we know that it's such an important issue that so many people grapple with. You look at the volume of projects around the world and it's well in the trillions. It's crazy. And obviously with that goes procurement. So we know that this is a really important subject, and we just want to say thank you so much for the time you've spent, that you've given us your attention and your comment and your feedback. So we're just going to recap in this video, and if you haven't watched any of the others, we suggest you go back, but if not, watch this one and you can kind of get a glimpse at what we went through and what everyone learnt. Again, thank you so much and really appreciate your feedback. Okay, so we're just going to go back over some of the content we went through in the 3 videos. Remember, we spoke about skills, knowledge and competency failures. And we said if there's one ingredient that most effectively increases the chance of project success, it is expertise. And where a project lacks the knowledge and skills, we see that quality levels and productivity are lower, and we have risk of serious errors or omissions rise really quickly. So what was the definition of project procurement? Project procurement is both a term and a process used to describe and achieve the acquisition of goods and services to best serve the deliverables of the project objectives. Project objectives are predetermined primarily in the project startup phase, and then there are a set of procurement activities undertaken in accordance with the project procurement plan to help achieve those objectives. So, knowing and understanding the objectives of the project is what drives project procurement. It's a critical aspect of the project as the activities work to ensure the project runs according to plan in terms of scope, time, quality, cost and risk. Therefore, project procurement planning and delivery is vital to achieving a successful outcome for the project. So what is there to understand about procurement then? Some of the skills required are to be able to ensure that products are delivered on time to budget, that we have legally binding contracts in place. So, supply has fulfilled the laws of the country. Occupational health and safety, trade practices, ethics are all transparent. That company policies and programs are adhered to. That we have done risk assessment, we've established the weighting criteria, and negotiation processes are understood and proactive. That we have a tender preparation, evaluation and execution that follows a set process. Supplier selection and evaluation follows best practice processes. Responsibilities are defined and understood. That the relationship between the project team and procurement is proactive and collaborative. Finalisation and review processes are in place. And of course we can keep adding to the list. So we really want to stress it's more than just a relationship, it is also learned knowledge. So planning for procurement. Important aspects of successful procurement. That products and services are available when required. They meet necessary conditions and quality requirements. Obviously, research and planning is essential. So then, what are the risks associated with project procurement? Whenever a product or service is acquired from outside your organisation, there are risks associated. Each of these risks may significantly affect the project's objectives if they're realised. So for each risk that we identify, we'll have a corresponding entry in the risk register, and they might include that the supplier can't deliver the required quantity, the quality of the products and services is not directly under your control, the supplier might not deliver on time. And another area that we looked at was how do we know the supplier's intent to respond? And we spoke about what's your process when you send out requests to the marketplace. We see repeatedly organisations send out their RFT, RFP, RFQ, and then simply wait and hope that they receive enough adequate responses when the request closing time happens. And when it comes to opening the responses, they find not enough suppliers have responded, and a lot of the time, those that have aren't a good fit. So, next thing you know it, you're going back to the market and your project is already delayed. So what should you do? Always understand the project needs, especially if what you're sourcing is critical to the delivery of the project, then plan. And during the planning stage, engage with key stakeholders. Ensure the specifications are thorough. Research potential suppliers, devise clauses and criteria, attach the weightings. Then you can have confidence when you go to the market. I know it sounds simple, but we can tell you it isn't done all the time. Be proactive. When you send out the request, add criteria and have your suppliers A, acknowledge that they received the request, and B, indicating whether they will be responding. Take control. So here's an example that we showed from our sourcing software. When a supplier gets a request from us, they have to check into the send intend to respond, and they say we will or will not be submitting our offer by the close date. Then in another screen, we can see the suppliers we've gone to market with and who is going to respond. So it's taking the guesswork out. We have the control and we know whether we've got to go to new suppliers or more suppliers right at the start of the process. We don't lose valuable time. Okay, project scope, that's another hot topic. Project scope pertains to the work necessary to deliver a product. So from the perspective of the project plan, it is the sum total of its products and the extent of their requirements. It's best described and illustrated by the product breakdown structure and then the associated product descriptions. By thoroughly planning and describing the scope, it enables all stakeholders to clearly understand what the project is and isn't delivering. So it's critical that the stakeholder is in agreement with the information discussed in the plan. Everyone needs to be on the same page. So for the illustration we had a look at, our project is delivering a Christmas lunch. There's going to be meat, vegetable and condiment components. The meat, vegetable and condiments are collective groups. We use these group headings for brainstorming. They are not actually deliverables. For the meat, we had turkey, chicken, ham and lamb. For the veggies, potatoes, carrots and pumpkin. Condiments, gravy, white sauce, applesauce and mustard. So, the blue rectangles are the products and you need to deliver all of the products so that your project is successfully delivered. So each product identified has an associated product description. Hence, if this is done thoroughly and collectively with key stakeholders, then the procurement process becomes a whole lot simpler. By drilling down and knowing what the products need to be delivered, we can then manage to that level of detail. Just remember, you increase costs when you are ambiguous in your request to market. So the more specific your request can be, the better the pricing you are going to receive. And by understanding what your project scope is and the product description of each product, that is how you're going to have clarity internally and externally when you go to market. So project scope certainty plus procurement certainty equals supplier certainty, which in turn equals best supplier fit at best whole cost. And the end result, your project delivery goes according to plan. Best case scenario. Okay, quick look at stakeholders. Stakeholder is anyone who is affected or can affect the project. So in a project, some of the stakeholders, the project manager, procurement, the project team, supplier interest, interested parties, user interest, and of course, your suppliers. There can be extra stakeholders. There could be disgruntled parties. As long as you're aware of them, you can plan how to communicate with them. So just to recap, we've covered skills and knowledge. So lack of skills leads to project implosions. Risk, we need to be aware of what poor procurement can do. Supplier intent, we need to be proactive and drive the process. Project scope, drill down through a product breakdown structure and associated product descriptions, then use them as the basis of specifications to go to market. And stakeholders, identify them, build relationships, communicate, and especially engage with procurement early.
Hi, look, welcome and thanks for joining me on these videos. Here I am, downtown, the beautiful Broadmoor, Colorado Springs in the snow. What I wanted to say was thank you for all the comments and reactions that we've had from our videos. It's been absolutely fantastic. Because many as you know that we started this review quite a few months ago. Now along with that research prior to the videos, and the people we spoke to, I got a lot of interest, and they were saying that they were really happy with it. And as we're putting the videos up onto the web just not long back, things started to escalate, and the opportunity as far as the PPI accelerated. Well, it told me straight away that the market and the business opportunities, they wait for no man. So as I say, here I am. You know, when I first started talking about these videos, I was in Torquay on my property. I was on the surf, in the sunshine, down at Bells Beach. Now, here I am in the USA, snow in Colorado, on my way to Texas. Beautiful place, very cold. Anyway, being cold, I think I will get a coffee, go inside and have a chat to you in there. Come and join me.
At the Broadmoor, take 2.
Well, thanks for joining me inside. A lot warmer and a good cup of coffee. Now I've written down a few notes just to try to keep on track here, so I'll refer to them as I go. First thing I wanted to say that is that this trip in essence is really thanks to all of you out of there, because many of you have told us how important you thought that the training is, and you believe in it. So this need to train procurement, project and team members in the knowledge that is required for good project procurement is essential. And that's the thing that drove us through the networks and people ringing us to an opportunity to come out here to the USA. So as soon as I finished the last video, as it were, I was literally going to the airport to get on a plane to come out here to the States. And so I've spent about 34, 36 hours in traveling, and 10 of those was in the airport at Los Angeles, which wasn't too pleasant, but it gave me plenty of time to read and to finish off things that I was doing and to do a bit of research and rethinking about all of this information that was trying to go through my mind. You sent a lot of comments, and good comments, and one of them came in from a fellow by the name of David in Canada. I just want to read what David says. He says, "Thank you for this, and you're absolutely spot on. I see this as an area with gaps in the knowledge and experience. I am working and living in Canada, currently minus 12 degrees, so I know what he means. And it goes on to say, and even in public procurement with its guidelines and processes, there is a lack of integration between procurement and projects." After reading that particular comment, I thought, yeah, he's grasped it all. So I thought I would stop in my travels and just take a minute to put together this video clip and to get it up on the net, just to more or less to say thank you to you, because I want to encourage you on your journey and maybe take a couple of the thoughts and the insights that I've come across in the last few days. During this trip, I was able to finish a book I was reading on the plane and that book is Disrupt You by Jay Sammet. And another book that I got once I arrived in America, the first book, was a book called In Pursuit of Purpose by Dr. Miles Monroe. Now, Ray Zammit on the front cover of his book says this: the book's about to master your personal transformation, to seize the opportunity and thrive in the era of endless innovation. Well, as some of you remember, in one of my earlier videos, I made a similar point of reinventing yourself that I picked up over in Asia when I was out there doing some work in a lecture. And what I had said was that you've got to be like the actor. You've got to reinvent yourself. The actor gets a script and he becomes that character, and so on as he builds up his repertoire to help him become a better actor. However, Ray says it better. What he says in the statement in the book is this: in this era of endless innovation, each of us has the power to seek out new problems to solve, to look inside and re-examine our strengths, and to develop a disruptor's mindset. Then he says our purpose is to contribute to the time we live in by reinventing ourselves and our world. As I said, I finished his book. The first book I pick up is Monroe's book, In Pursuit of Purpose. So reading through that, one of the statements that Monroe makes in his book is this: that purpose gives birth to hope and instills the passion to act. Going back through our stuff and reading our stuff, I've come to the conclusion, and I believe, and I'm sure, that we've developed a program that will give you the skills and the knowledge to make a change, and you can leave a legacy in your area of influence. So I want you to remember really what it's shown me is that we're all on a journey, and we'll continue to be on a journey. We'll continue to have to update our education and our learning, because this is what's going to drive us forward in an ever-changing environment. So I'd just like to say to you, many blessings as you continue on your travels. Thank you.
Okay, so just to finish off, just want to say thank you so much for the time you've spent with us. We are really grateful. So what we've covered: skills and knowledge, how lack of skills leads to project implosions, risk, be aware of what poor procurement can do, supplier intent, you be proactive and drive the process, the project scope, drill down through a product breakdown structure and associated product descriptions and use them as the basis of specs to go to market. Stakeholders, identify them, build relationships, communicate, and especially engage with procurement early. So, the survey results in order of pain when we ran our survey. Number one issue from project and procurement personnel was lack of skills and knowledge personally. Number two issue were that suppliers didn't respond. Thirdly, lack of skills and knowledge organisationally. Fourth, lack of understanding of procurement requirements. Fifth, scope not properly defined. And sixth was poor communication between project and procurement teams. So imagine how you would perform and what the project would be like if you knew how to handle all of those issues. That's why we've introduced the Project Procurement Institute. We believe so firmly in increasing this skill base so we can see projects and procurement thrive. So how would you like us to make all of those pain points disappear? How would you like us to manage your supplier relationships, communicate effectively with your key stakeholders, help you build a positive, proactive relationship with procurement, and lift the skills of you personally and the organisation as a whole? Well, it's pretty much impossible for us to do that for everyone in a one-on-one capacity. But the best next thing is to schedule a call with us where we can go over your current position and processes. Then, after understanding your situation, we'll offer some solutions and strategies that you can apply and get some quick gains. So, who is this not for? It is not for those who don't want to change, not for those who are happy with their current project performance, and not for those who don't want to influence. If that's you, thank you so much for sitting through our training, and we wish you all the best. We really appreciate your time. So then, who is it for? It's for those who don't want to be overwhelmed. It's for those who want to see positive change. It's for those who are excited to learn and improve themselves. And it's for you if you want to lead and influence within your organisation. So, on this strategy call, we will get an understanding of you personally, of your organisation, how projects are run, and how project and procurement teams interact. Then, we'll give you some strategic solutions. We will look at a gap analysis. We'll identify the key pain points. We'll offer some solutions and give you processes to implement them. So imagine a project that you control. You become known as the project magician. On time, on budget, successful delivery. Why are we confident that we can help you do this? Because we have been on both sides. We've worked in project management and we've worked in procurement. We've reduced tender evaluation time, in one instance on a $900 million construction build, by 300 hours. And on average across all tenders, we have reduced evaluation time by 70%. We have consolidated numerous supplier bases. We've rationalised specs which help reduce stock and costs. And we've introduced best practice frameworks and processes into organisations. We are confident that we can help you. So this offer is open for 1 week or to the first 10 organisations that sign up. Again, it's a free strategy call. It'll be computer based, so we can share the screen if necessary, and it'll occur over 2 weeks after you book in. So normally a consult this thorough would cost around $5,000, but this is completely free of cost and obligation. Why, you ask? Because we believe in this new initiative and the need to address the gap. We know what it's like dealing with project issues, and we also know that understanding procurement can help reduce that. And we want to say thank you so much for taking your time to go through our training videos. So again, the offer is open for 1 week or to the first 10 people or organisations that sign up. A link should appear below, and that will take you through to a form explaining the format of the session and what to expect. You can then choose a time that suits you, and don't worry where you're located. We're a global organisation and will accommodate accordingly. So go ahead, sign up. It's completely risk-free, and you will leave with strategies that you can use to implement, which will improve performance personally and organisationally. So, what is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You need to do something different to create change. So thank you so much for joining us. We've covered skills and knowledge, risk, supplier intent, project scope, and stakeholders. Thank you so much for your time. Leave me a message, contact me, email me. I'm happy to delve further into things and answer any questions. But bottom line is, really grateful for your time, and I look forward to working with you. Bye for now.